And welcome once again to Community Viewpoint. This is the second segment. I'm John Pollock, your host once again. As you can see, we have a full house today. We have my brothers and sisters here from AmeriCorps, and also the good folks from U.S. Veterans. These folks are from Las Vegas. All these folks are dedicated to the veterans that have served for our country. And we serve them in different ways. Ourselves, we work, the AmeriCorps members work with WestCare. And before I get started, let's introduce everybody and so you know who we are. So, going here first.
Yes, I'm Jaquari Jameson, AmeriCorps service member in Las Vegas, working hand-in-hand with WestCare of Southern Nevada as an AmeriCorps member. Glad to be here in Pahrump.
Thank you.
My name is Greg Morgan. I'm with U.S. Vets Family Services Outreach in Las Vegas, and we also work with WestCare quite frequently to assist our veterans, and we are excited to be here as well.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Johnson, AmeriCorps service member at the Women's and Children facility of WestCare.
My name is Tara Jana Gerker, and I'm with AmeriCorps as well, and working hand in hand with WestCare for Martin Luther King's facility.
My name is Marlene Barajas, and I'm AmeriCorps Las Vegas and work at WestCare at Community Triage Center.
And I thank you all for coming down to visit us today in Pahrump. And we're here for a meeting with other local veterans groups at DAV. We're going to have some folks even from Health and Human Services out from Tacopa, the folks at the Nye Community Coalition. We're going to be having a roundtable discussion how we can better serve our veterans, male, female, and families out here as the U.S. veterans do in Las Vegas. The folks we partner with for the U.S. vets, they have what's called a stand down in the spring that you put on. That's something you dedicate yourself to. The last one we went to was at Cashman Field, and it's a huge event. Do you have some logistics on it that you want to tell what you serve for the veterans?
This past stand down, we served over 900 veterans in 2 days, and several veterans were able to get jobs and housing in the same day with the community partners that we have in the Las Vegas area.
It's at the Cashman Center, and I had the opportunity to have our van from Pahrump to bring veterans from out in the rural areas out there, and it's they work with judicial things. They have some misdemeanors that might be cleared up so they can get jobs. Sometimes that holds some of our veterans back. There's food available for them. There's a little bit of entertainment, a lot of politicians over there, this is good. And healthcare, we had some, if veterans have some really bad issues with their teeth, they had that medical facility over there. Home Depot was there. So we had job opportunities, clothing from, was it Goodwill?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so a lot of things are happening over with the U.S. Vets. The U.S. Vets will be partnering with some other groups for a fall stand down. That's going to be, where is it going to be at?
It's at the Cambridge Family Center in Las Vegas.
And we'll know more about that when that happens. That'll be the first week of October, I believe it is. And I went to that one last fall too, and there's a lot of things for the veterans and their families over there. Medical assistance, get a good shower if you need it, a doctor will look you over, get a haircut. I wouldn't do it for me because I always use the Flowbee, so I haven't had a haircut in like 20 years, but never mind. That's a different story. But there's so many good things that the U.S. Vets do, and that's why you're here out in Pahrump to help us, help ourselves, and help our veterans out here.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate what you do there, and we want to do some of those things over here, whether the VFW, the DAV, and all the other groups that are here in Night Community Coalition with Stacy Smith. What are some of the other things that we do? Anybody else want to chime in why we're here? What we do for our veterans?
A lot of the things we do for our veterans is just being a liaison for them. A lot of our veterans don't know where to go to get their benefits.
Right.
We point them in the right direction to get their benefits. We come across a lot of homeless veterans. That's when we partner up with U.S. Vets. We try to get our veterans off of the streets and back living indoors. We was just actively involved with UNLV, WestCare, and MGM partnered together and put on a combat trauma conference for post-traumatic stress disorder. So we try to educate, we try to point the vets in the right direction and just be a helping hand to the vets. We are vets and veteran family members, servicing vets.
Right.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say this annual event that took place with U.S. Vets was a phenomenal event, and John hit it on the nutshell with all that a vet could come directly off the streets and take part in all these services. It was a phenomenal event. I mean, vets that took advantage of this opportunity, they left with everything except a spouse in the house. I mean, well, they got the house. They
Yeah.
just didn't get the car.
Yeah.
But they got bus passes. I mean, it was a phenomenal event. They got everything they pretty much needed and that we provided. There was even a place there where you can get eyeglasses.
Yeah, that's
so
true, yeah.
it was phenomenal. But throughout the year, we want to make sure that it's not a famine for our vets out there and that we can do whatever we can to bring the oasis to them. We also partner with a group called Corridor Hope as well as the Metro Police, and we go out into the tunnels, into the streets, and sweep Las Vegas from all of those wounded soldiers that would take advantage of services if they just knew that they were available. So instead of waiting on them to see a TV commercial because they don't have a TV, or waiting for them to hear radio, to hear advertisement of come inside, this is what we do, we are that walking billboard, and we're right there to find those wounded soldiers and let our brothers know that there is, a place waiting for you to not give you a handout, but a hand up.
And it's the main goal is the successful transition of military veterans and their families through the provisions of housing, counseling, career development,
Absolutely.
and comprehensive support. So the comprehensive support goes to the community partnerships within the area of Las Vegas, which, thanks to WestCare and other community partners, the Rescue Mission Catholic Charities, the Corridor of Hope, and Metro assisting us with providing the homeless people with a resource alternative to jail, is also
Right.
obviously a big help. And to be able to extend that down into the Pahrump area is the next step.
Right.
So we're excited to be able to have this opportunity to do that.
Right, and we're reaching out to you, and you know what, I'm going to have you do the next show. That was fantastic. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we have our own veterans, not only the newer veterans from the Afghanistan, from Iraq. There's a lot of us that are out there from Vietnam.
Yes, sir.
We have a tendency to fall off the end of the plateau at a later age because we lose our spouses. We lose the ability to work regularly. We can't find work. Sometimes we're all pilled up. And the pills, if we go off the pills, then we just go off the deep end sometimes. So we're trying to put a hand out for the new veterans, and oh my God, they're the older ones like myself that are out there also. So we extend that hand out to them, and hopefully they'll grab that hand and they'll pull themselves in. And we just don't want to just coddle them and just leave them out there. We want to make them part of society also.
Absolutely.
Make them proud of themselves. There's many other issues that many other agencies. The VA has Teresa Williams is a lady that's working with Bosch, I think it is.
HUD-VASH, she's a HUD-VASH case manager.
Yes, that's
sir.
another thing we would like to get housing for our veterans. So that's something that we're going to be introducing out here because Sam, who from the DAV, wants to do something with traditional housing. There's so much that can be done. They have to know we're here. We have to connect with them. That's what we're here for. That's what this show is for.
Absolutely.
And so hopefully we can make a difference and help our brothers and sisters and their families also that are out there. What haven't I covered? What would you like to do?
We're also actively involved in Las Vegas Veterans Court as well as Henderson Veterans Court. In Henderson, we go to Mark Stevens Court, and in Las Vegas, we're at Judge Bell's Court. We go in and we let those veterans know that they're not alone and what they're going through, that you have somebody that understands what you're going through. So we go in basically in a mentorship program to help them transition as they go through that process.
You bring up a great point, Ronnie. I mean, we've done so much already but there's still so much to do, not just in Las Vegas, but here in Pahrump. And just thinking about all the things we've discussed, there's still so much more to do. But I think right here we have the passion and heart and desire to get it done. If we can not just hit the courts or hit the tunnels and have the stand downs where they come in, but recently we developed a program for the Clark County Detention Center where their AmeriCorps members are serving 160 veterans in the areas of life skills. Because it's one thing to take a man off the street and give him a home,
Or
but
woman.
he still needs to know how to manage those bills and
Right.
how to pay those utilities and where to find services. So case management is a big portion, and we don't want to just give them, what they need without giving them the skills. The old proverb, you can give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, or you can teach him how to fish, and he'll eat forever.
I do the horse in the water thing out here, but that's okay. It's same theory. And I just, and we are AmeriCorps veterans, vets. We are sort of volunteers. We work for a small stipend, and we're not here for the money, I'll tell you that. But we are here because we are dedicated to the cause of our veteran families, the male, female, and everybody that comes back. Some willingly and some not willingly, because in my era, we were draftees too. So I really feel for those guys that, see, when we came back, it was like in 36 hours, I was in Benoit, then I was back in Chicago. That shouldn't have happened.
Correct.
It's changed somewhat, and there has to be a lot more change. The number that stands out in my mind, I got goosebumps right now, is 22, because there's 22 veterans that unfortunately die each day from self-inflicted wounds because they have PTSD, TBI. There's something that they can't transition back into society. So we have to reach out to
And
those
John,
folks.
just a reminder that next month is the month for suicide prevention.
Yes.
Month.
Yes.
So if you could endorse that.
We will be back for another show. We'll be talking about that in the future. How many more do we have? We have 2 minutes? Okay. So let's wrap it up. What do you want to leave the folks with?
I wanted to do a real quick plug in that the vets, of course, is our population, but we don't want to forget about the military family. Every time there is a father or mother deployed, there is a child left behind if there's a family situation. And we see a lot of behavior in the school system with those children that are taken as if the kid is just being defiant or having bad behavior, but he's going through a transition, and there needs to be someone to guide that person. And AmeriCorps is stepping to the challenge in that area as well.
Excellent
And
point.
U.S. Vets is doing that as well. We're really excited about a new grant that we have, which is supportive services for veterans and their families,
Awesome.
which involves a case manager dealing with all the issues that we've been talking about. And the whole idea is a comprehensive one, and to try to get them back to independent, sustainable living, and they can have more pride within themselves and their families, because he makes a great point that it's not just the soldier, it's the family as well. They're all going through it together.
All right. This is it. We're out there for you. So let's see what we can do in the coming months. I want to thank you all for coming out here, and let's see what we can do in the meeting we're going to. We'll see you in about a month or two. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you, and we'll catch you next time.